great choice for you. As we get started, I just want to go through the agenda for the evening for you. We have a great host here for you tonight. Her name is Paige Smith. She's put this event together, and so she will be making sure that your evening is full of good information. And we also have an optional campus tour. We've figured out how to do a virtual campus tour so that you can get to know campus and learn your way around even from the comfort of the computer screen. So your event tonight, your first session will be your Raider Experience, a guide to admissions, financial aid, and scholarships, with an opportunity for you to learn about how to apply for admissions at Wright State and all of the great scholarship opportunities that are available to you. Let me give you the insider tip is that our application is free. We will talk about that later, but you can apply for free on the Common App or at wright.edu/apply. After we go through the admissions information, you will have an amazing opportunity to meet some of our top faculty from our 5 academic colleges. They will talk about your experiences and highlight some of the opportunities in their degree programs, talk about how they're going to support you. And I think that is the most important piece of information that you will hear tonight. Our faculty really believe in our students, and it's one of the things that I am most proud of when I talk about Wright State is how our faculty really dig in and work with students, and during office hours, in class, after hours, answering emails, replying to text, and making sure that you have opportunities to get professional experiences and experiential opportunities in the classroom as well. It's a really important component to growth for you as a student as you find your way to your career. After you get to talk with our faculty members, you will meet our student leaders. The lineup that we have ready for you from our student leaders tonight is really amazing. We have our student government president in here for you. So that will be great. And then we'll have a few minutes for a question and answers session. And then we'll kick off the virtual campus tour at 7:30. So enjoy your evening tonight. Thank you so much for being here. We do really appreciate your time. You also can come and visit campus in person. We recognize that for some of you, that distance may be just too far, and that's why you're doing this. And for others, this is a safe way for you to visit. But if you would like to see campus in person, you are welcome to come. We have tours and visits available Monday through Friday at 10 and 2. And your first Raider lesson, we ended up with a Raider up. And so that is our battle cry. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I'm going to turn it over to Paige Smith.
Thanks, Jen. And just to continue on, definitely Raider up. And thank you everyone for coming today. So as Jen mentioned, I will be guiding you through the entire event today, starting with the information about Wright State. And so joining me, I also have Rainey Jewett from Raider Connect, which is our one-stop shop for financial aid, scholarships, registrar, bursar, all of the things. So she's also very knowledgeable about everything Wright State. So I'll let her say hello real quick.
Hi, everyone. We're welcome to have you here. Hopefully everybody comes and we get all your good financial aid up to date. So go ahead, Paige.
All right. And we also have Teresa Roth here with us, and she is here from our University Center for International Education. So we did have students literally from all over the world tuning in today to learn more about Wright State. So I'll just let her say hello as well.
Hello, I'll be here throughout and after for any questions you may have. And Paige is an awesome presenter. Welcome to Wright State. Thanks.
Thank you. And that's a good point. Just a reminder that we do have opportunities for you to ask questions during the entire event. So we actually have an admissions counselor just on the other side of the room from me here, who is monitoring the chat and the Q&A section to be able to answer all of your questions as soon as you have them. So don't feel like you have to wait to any particular time. As you have a question, just ask. So I'll go ahead and get started with our presentation. So at Wright State, we want you to do a lot more than just go to class. We want you to find your passion, and hopefully you can find your passion through one of our 160 different undergraduate programs. I'm not going to go deep dive into all the majors. If there is a major that you would like to receive more information from, just put it in the chat. We can record your name with that major and send you follow up with some information. You also, in that next session, get to hear from our faculty members from our 5 different academic colleges, and they will, share the highlights of their programs. But it's also important that not only do we have the program that you're interested in, but we have the student support services to make you successful. So for you as a student, we do have advising. So we have centralized advising where you get advised by someone in your program throughout your 4 years here, as well as we have undecided advisors that can help you navigate that first year to really find what your passion is and what major can help you achieve it. We do have our tutoring and math and writing centers, which are success centers that are there to help you when you're challenged in the classroom. So whether that's tutoring for any undergraduate class that you may be taking, or the math and writing centers to help you with those foundational skills to be successful through all 4 years at Wright State. And then we also have our career services that will help you navigate joining the workforce. So whether that's as a student with student employment opportunities, as you're looking for internships and co-ops, there'll be our connection in addition to our different academic colleges to help get connected with those internships, and then job placement after graduation. So we're really here to help you from the first day and to the last day in your classes. And then we also want you to find your mentor. So as I mentioned, this very next session, you will get to meet some of our faculty. We do have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio, meaning our faculty are not serving large amounts of students. They really are focusing on the students in their class. You will get to know them, they will get to know you, and you really can start making those professional connections. And then we have lots of experiential learning opportunities. So that is co-ops, internships, but also we have a lot of opportunities for undergraduate research here on campus. So you can get connected with our different faculty there and really find the experts in your industry right here on campus. And then we also do provide a lot of peer mentorship opportunities. So whether that is you're starting at orientation, you receive a peer mentor that helps you guide the transition until your first day of classes. They will also be there through your first year. So getting connected with those upperclassmen. Also, a lot of our different academic programs also have several different peer mentorship opportunities where you can get connected with an upperclassman that's in your program that has experienced it and will be willing to share with you the tips and tricks to make sure that you're successful. And then, as we all know, college is so much more than just the academics. It's also about finding your people. And so we have about 12,000 students that attend Wright State. So hopefully you'll be able to find the folks that have the same interests and passions as you do. And we have over 140 different student organizations that also help you get connected with those students. So that's Greek organizations, academic clubs, special interests, really anything that you're interested in. I know one of our fastest growing clubs I always like to highlight is our esports club. So even if you just like to play video games and you want to get together with other students who also enjoy doing that, you can start creating a network. You get to make friends, but also as you're moving on professionally, you'll know people in lots of different industries. And then we also definitely encourage you to live on campus. We have 7 different housing communities, 3 different dorm options for first-year students. We have some of the largest, most affordable dorms in the region with suite-style dorms. So that's the room with the shared bathroom, so not the traditional dorm you may think of. They're very spacious. We have deluxe models, and we also have some students joining us from our housing department later on, so make sure you ask them what it's like to live on campus. And then lastly, we want you to find your future here at Wright State. So our goal is to get you from this virtual event tonight to applied, to enrolled, and then to graduated. When you graduate from Wright State, you join an alumni group of over 114,000 students. I may be a little biased because I'm part of it, but I think it's one of the best alumni groups in the whole world, and we have alumni doing really great things in their respective industries. And so this is where I'm going to turn it over to Rainey as she talks about how Wright State tries to make college as affordable as possible. Sorry, Rainey, you're still muted.
Thank you. I figured I did that because I was like going, why is nobody answering? Okay. I'm sorry. So yes, Wright State can become very affordable. We have a tuition guarantee scenario. Next one. Oh, wait a minute here. I got it. Hold on. Okay. So we have one of the lowest tuitions in the state for a four-year college. So since we are a state institution, we do also get some state aid and things like that that we want to talk about. With the tuition guarantee, it keeps that cost of the in-state tuition, the housing, and the dining plans the same during your first 4 years. So starting with your freshman year, you and your family can kind of say, if it's going to take me $20,000 this year, it's going to take me $20,000 next year. So you can plan on what you're doing. So we want to make sure that you're always looking at what you have to do for the whole time, because we want you to be able to complete the process and make sure you get it through to graduation. So on this, when we look at the tuition, we have the state of Ohio living off campus. That is going to be the most economical. It's running about $12,000 for the year. So that is half fall, half spring. We only ever bill one term at a time. So I always want you to realize that, but you want to plan financial aid and plan your expenses on a yearly basis so you're certain to have enough to make it through the whole year. So with living on campus, that would take your housing for an undergraduate student in the state of Ohio, student resident, to about $22,000, depending upon where you live and what meal plan you actually choose. Meal plans can give you a little bit of difference in price. Housing can give you a little bit different in price. So always make sure that when you're signing up for things, you look to see what the actual prices are going to be. So if you have some of us that have out-of-state tuitions, this would be for anyone that is not a true resident of the state of Ohio. So if you're living in Indianapolis, you are an out-of-state person. We do have some reciprocity with some of the state of Indiana, where if you're right on the border, there are certain counties that we can get you in-state tuition, but that's on a base by base. We'd have to do a petition to do that. But when it's living out of state, like Illinois or any of those other wonderful 49 states that you want, you are looking at tuition starting at $22,000. And then if you add housing on that, it's going to take it to $31,000 for a year. We also want to talk a little bit about international students, because international students, theirs will start out at close to $30,000, $31,000 for tuition and fees. And if they add the housing on it, it could actually, Paige, that's wrong. It should be this 21 for out-of-state tuition and 32 for living on campus. Sorry, it should have been the same as the out-of-state for the international students. Now there are some programs, if you're a grad student, that the prices would be higher, but as an undergraduate student, we would have, you know, the lower prices. If you were a grad student, that $30,000 would be pretty close to being on target for tuition and fees and then housing on top of it. But if we're talking undergrad, it would be closer to 21, 22. I do apologize for that mistake on that, for pulling that into there. Next. So some things that you can do for financial aid and scholarships. We have what's called academic performance. We need to make sure that if you do get financial aid, that you continue to make sure you get at least a 2.0 GPA and a 67% completion factor for your student academic progress. We do look at those things. We review it every year because for federal financial aid, it is something that must actually take into consideration. We want everybody to file a FAFSA for the 22-23 school year, because that is the new year for coming up for next fall. I'm assuming this is for fall people. If you are coming in the spring, you're going to do a 21-22 school year. So on that FAFSA, you would do it out on the studentaid.gov website. That FAFSA will tell us what kind of financial aid you would qualify for, as to if it would be need-based, like grants and stuff like that, or if it would be loans would be involved in that also, which is also something you have to pay back. Then we also have our competitive section, which would be for our online scholarship application and for our academic performance scholarships that would come out. So there's some things that we really want to look at. When you're in high school, you want to be very careful to making sure that you're getting really good grades, that the higher your GPA is, the more you're going to get in academic performance type scholarships. The competitive is the online scholarship application. That is competitive to the whole university. It opens in November and it closes February 1st. All of these have a February 1st deadline for scholarships. So you want to make sure that you are actually doing that. Now, the academic performance can sometimes be extended due to availability of remaining money, but the deadline is actually February 1st. So you always want to make sure you're admitted and have processed that through. So next, please. So you want to go out here and make sure when you are applying to Wright State, I'm going to flip this back to page in just a second here, but I want to make sure that when you are filing a FAFSA, that you make sure that you use your social security number. But also when you're applying to Wright State, you want to make sure you're using your social security number if you have one, so that the two can match up and actually be able to put the scholarships and financial aid together into one record. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the thing. I will be happy to answer anything along the way. Paige?
Thanks, Rainey. And that's a good tips and trick to the application. But as Jen mentioned earlier, our application is open. Our application is open for spring of 22 and fall of 22, as well as we do have a summer semester. So if you're interested in that, and it is completely free for all undergraduate students. So it doesn't take much. You just have to go to wright.edu/apply, create an account and fill out the application that way. We are also on Common App. And so if you are applying for several schools through the Common App, you can find us on there. Our application is real simple. It only takes about 5 to 10 minutes. We just need to know your information, your educational history. We do not require any letters of recommendation, any essays or anything like that. So I definitely encourage you to apply as soon as possible. But I did include here kind of our admissions deadlines. So as you're thinking about when I should apply, you can look on here. One note that I forgot on the last slide is our admissions criteria. So we do a holistic review based on your high school GPA, high school credits, the rigor of your coursework, but we will be test optional for the fall of 2022. So if you have not taken the standardized test like ACT or SAT, or you weren't happy with your scores, we will not require that as part of admissions or scholarship eligibility. So we really do not need that unless you want to show us, if you got a really outstanding score, we want to celebrate that with you, so you can feel free to send it. But it will not be a qualifying criteria for admissions or scholarships. And so for high school students, our priority application is due before November 1st. So all you have to do is go to wright.edu/apply and complete your application, or Common App, and then send us your high school transcript. That's the only document we will need to complete your application. So if you submit your application and get us that transcript before November 1st, you'll be considered a priority applicant. What does that mean? That means you'll get your admissions decision first. You're guaranteed to have an admissions decision by November 15th. You will get priority access to some admitted student events, our competitive scholarship application, housing, all of those things. You will be the first person that will get the opportunity. And so like with housing and scholarships, scholarships is, first come, first serve. And then the scholarship, the competitive scholarship application too, the more time you get to spend on that and really perfect your essay and your letters of recommendation, the better, obviously. And then with housing, it's first come, first serve, where the sooner you apply to housing, the more likely you are to get your top choice. So definitely being a priority applicant has a lot of benefits. However, we do have our regular application. The deadline for that is February 1st. So that's in line with our other scholarships and FAFSA priority date, meaning that if you apply, send us your transcripts and get admitted before February 1st, you will have the opportunity to still receive scholarships and financial aid and make sure you get your best financial aid package. However, we do have rolling admissions, meaning you can apply all the way up to the Friday before classes start. So that's kind of what you'll see for the transfer adult students, is that application deadline will be that Friday before classes start. However, we do have a recommended date to apply by, because it just makes it easier for you as a student to make sure that we can get your transcripts from any previous institution that you've attended. We can make sure that your scholarships get put on your account, and we can make sure we're, giving you a degree audit and making sure you know what credits transfer and how much further you have left at Wright State. So we definitely recommend that you apply before those dates listed on there. I always will bring this timeline back up at the end of towards the end of the event, because this is what everyone has a lot of questions on. But I do, at this time, I'm going to start promoting all of the faculty members to the next session, where you'll get to meet our faculty. Oh, and I did forget one slide. We're encouraging you to visit campus. We are open for campus visits. You can see some of our upcoming dates. If you would like to come to our in-person open house, we will have that Saturday, October 30th. You will be able to take talk to faculty and staff in the different academic colleges, get a more one-on-one experience and discussion with them. We'll have different informational sessions. You'll have the chance to apply. We'll have different campus resources like Raider Connect, where Rainey works, and some of our other campus partners there, so you can just get a more holistic overview of Wright State, as well as we will be giving campus tours, so you can just learn a lot about Wright State on that day. If you can't come on the 30th, we do have daily campus tours, and so you can just go to our calendar of events and do that there, as well as we have different academic visit days. All of our opportunities are constantly being updated on wright.edu/visit. So I definitely encourage you to check there often to see if there's any visits that really spark your interest, and we'd be happy to have you on campus. So again, we'll start promoting the faculty so that they can get started on their session. If you want to know any of the contact information for any of the offices during this presentation, they're all up on the screen now.
Paige, can I butt in for just a second here? Keep in mind that the 22-23 FAFSA is going to open October 1st, and you would definitely want to do it before December, because that's where you're going to get your most money. Even though our priority deadline is February 1st, we hope to have all the verification processes done by mid-February, so we can get you the financial aid award notices early. So for the 22-23 school year, please use the 2020 tax information. Thank you.
All right. And so you'll start to see some of our faculty members' faces. And we will give each of the representatives just an opportunity to introduce themselves, tell you a little bit about their college, about their faculty mission, about how they're here to support students, highlight some of their programs and some of their student opportunities as well. So we'll wait for everyone to come on here. I'm starting to see some faces. I do. All right. So waiting for a few more. I'm going to put myself on mute. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So our first faculty member that was going to go is Dr. Carol Arranger from our College of Liberal Arts. And I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I am Carol Arranger. I'm the Associate Dean of the College of Liberal Arts. And when I'm not being an Associate Dean, I teach American Literature for the Department of English. So on behalf of Dean Linda Karen and our faculty, I want to welcome you to this virtual open house. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about the College of Liberal Arts. We're very eager to have you join Wright State, and we hope you'll find your academic home with us. In COLA, as we call it, College of Liberal Arts, we have the largest number of different majors on offer at Wright State, as well as minor certificate programs and just a stimulating variety of courses for students from every college that you can take as electives to scratch your creative or intellectual curiosity itch. We have majors as diverse as classics, acting and musical theater, crime and justice studies, to name just 3, as well as the more traditional liberal arts disciplines you may already know about, such as political science, English, modern languages, history, or art. We have certifications that you can take with any major in areas like arts management, nonprofit management, and professional technical writing, to name just 3. And nearly every one of our major programs incorporates some form of experiential learning, whether it's an internship for a semester, a practicum, or study abroad. And COLA students have access to the most energetic and effective career counselor I have ever met. Mr. Wayne Stark offers programs weekly, in person and online, on everything from how to build your resume if you're a liberal arts major, to interviewing and that all-important first salary negotiation. For students who may be interested in majors in other colleges, that's great, but you're likely to be seeing a lot of us at Wright State anyway, as we offer most of the general education courses for the university. We also offer minors in every one of our programs, as well as standalone electives for non-majors in things like music ensembles, so you don't have to leave your instrument behind that you played in high school. Studio arts like ceramics, printmaking, and photography, creative writing, those sorts of things. And if you're not in class and you're looking for something to do, we have concerts, dance programs, plays, and fine arts exhibitions going on all year long in our Creative Arts Center. And those will help feed your aesthetic and entertainment needs as you go through your college career. In fact, this Thursday, September 16th, at the Levitt Pavilion in downtown Dayton, our fine arts, music and theater, dance, and motion pictures students and faculty will be giving a free concert from 7 to 9 p.m. I hope you can stop by and say hello. So that's just a quick overview of the College of Liberal Arts, and I look forward to answering any questions you may have at the end of this session.
Thanks, Dr. Arranger. And I will second what you say about Wayne. He is one of the most enthusiastic people on campus and is a great help for students. And I definitely saw the invite to the Levitt Pavilion this Thursday.
Please
and making plans with others around the office to go check it out. Sounds like a fun event. So next, I'll turn it over to Dr. Ringling for the College of Education and Computer Science. I just have to get him the permission here. Just give me 1 second. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you, Paige. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Ringling. I'm a professor of electrical engineering, and I currently serve as dean at the College of Engineering and Computer Science. I just want to show you a few highlights from our college. First, coming through high school, if you're like me, you may not have a good idea of what engineering and computer science really are. Not every high school has an opportunity to be exposed to engineering. So I thought I'd put a quick definition out here. This is kind of a wordy one at the top, but I like this one at the bottom: design of solutions to real world problems. That's what engineers and computer scientists do. We look for real problems that need to be solved, and we try and improve the human condition by coming up with answers. And that can be anything that's very innovative, like going from a telegraph over several decades, even a century and a half, to a smartphone, or maybe you're just making the next best product year after year. So keep that in mind. Engineering and computer science is design solutions to real world problems. So what can you do with a degree in engineering and computer science? Well, really anything you want. If whatever part of the world you want to have impact on, you can work in it. Just about everything you see is engineered, from robots, transportation, energy and power, defense systems, working in entertainment, consumer products, communication, medical devices. Everything involves engineers. So whatever you're passionate about, you can find a way to work on it. And with how the world is going now with this forced to remote work that we've gone through over the last year and a half, you can really live anywhere in the world you want and work on anything that you want. So it's really a great time to be an engineer. Locally, this is a real advantage of being an engineering or computer science major at Wright State. There's a lot of local industry that I can see just looking out my window at the companies that are around campus. This is a sampling of local ones that are within easy driving distance of campus. So as was mentioned earlier, there are a lot of experiential learning opportunities at Wright State, and that is especially true in engineering and computer science. If you have any kind of decent GPA after your first year or two as a student at Wright State and you want an internship, you will have one. There are lots and lots of companies looking to employ students, and they're in a range of fields from defense to automotive to consumer products, energy generation, forklifts, industrial automation, all kinds of things. We do like to brag that we have some of the highest starting salaries on campus. Engineering and computer science degrees can be challenging, but there is a lot of demand for students out there. And so the salaries reflect that. So keep that in mind. Very briefly about what does an engineering or computer science degree look like? Well, all of our engineering degrees are accredited by ABET, which is a national organization to ensure the quality of engineering programs across the country is all consistent. So you'll find a lot of consistency among our engineering programs. They all have 120 semester hours required. You'll take about 45 semester hours of general education. You'll take 30 hours of math and science. You'll take at least 45 semester hours of engineering, and then you'll have some electives in there. If you're just starting to look at colleges and the idea of a semester hour is new to you, with 120 semester hours in an undergraduate program, you'll take about 30 semester hours per year, which means about 15 semester hours per semester, which means usually 4 or 5 classes per semester, 2 semesters per year. So we have 6 engineering degrees that are listed here, and then we have 4 non-engineering degrees that are either technical degrees or computer science programs are actually not considered engineering degrees. And the technical and the BA in computer science will tend to have less math and science requirements to them. And then last, I'd like to tell you what I think is really another one of the unique things about being an engineering and computer science student at Wright State. In addition to all the employment opportunities we have around, it's the sweet spot of size that we're in, that we're large enough as an institution to offer a variety of opportunities for our students to get involved. We have a large number of student organizations that range from community service activities to discipline-specific activities to more identity groups. And then we have active learning classes. When times are normal, hopefully within the next year or two, we'll be back to doing study abroad. We have lots of scholarships. We have our honors program, and we have a variety of course offerings. We're large enough that we can offer day, evening, and online classes, so it's easier to complete your degree no matter what's going on in your life. And we do have a lot of students that choose to do internships, and then they may start working during the day, and they appreciate the opportunity to do evening and online classes. We also do a lot of research in the college. We do about $10 million a year in funded research. And we encourage a lot of our undergraduate students to go on and get graduate degrees, and we have 4+1 bachelor's plus master's programs. So we're large enough as a college to offer all those things, but we're small enough that we'll get to know you as a student. The faculty in your classes will know who you are. You will know your faculty, and they will, if you're a good student, they'll have opportunities for you to get involved in undergraduate teaching and research opportunities. All your faculty will have office hours that you can go and talk to the faculty a couple of times a week, and you should go talk to them. We have help rooms, we have design projects and faculty-led student design teams. All these things are opportunities you might not find at much larger schools. So please keep that in mind as you look at other colleges. What opportunities do you want to have available, and how well do you want to know your faculty as a student? So with that, I'll stop sharing, and I'll say thanks, Paige. I'll hang around. I'll look forward to the Q&A.
Thank you. Thank you. And so next we have two representatives from our newest college on campus, our College of Health, Education, and Human Services. And so I actually have a list of what majors that entails. So I'm going to go ahead and get that pulled up, but then I will turn it over to Dr. Kramer to get started to talk about her college.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Welcome, everyone. My name is Tracy Kramer, and I am representing the part of the College of Health, Education, and Human Services. I am a Raider. We have a Raider family in my house. I have 2 degrees from Wright State, and my oldest graduated from Wright State, and my youngest is a student there. Wright State has served us well. I hope you'll find it to be a great choice for you as well. In our college, we have 12 undergraduate options that you'll be able to see on the screen shortly. I would categorize our options as the helping professions. So if you are interested in being a teacher, a nurse, social work, sign language, rehab, sports science, all of those things help our community. And right now, more than ever, we have such a need for so many of these jobs. One of them, our bragging rights in our college, is that all of our programs have some level of internship practicum, so that experiential learning, which we know is so important. We try to get you in the field early and often so you can start building that educational or that career network, and also make sure you're in the right place and that you're doing something that you're actually going to love. We have excellent state licensure passage rates, so our students know their content. We offer several minors, licenses, certificate programs for students who would like to go a little deeper or expand their resume, make themselves more marketable. Our advisors can certainly help guide you with things like that. I should say what I do particularly in the college is direct the field experiences for the teacher licensure candidates. So we work with about 150 schools in the area, doing different levels of field experiences, and we have strong partnerships with these schools. And I know many of my colleagues also have strong partnerships with the health organizations and community organizations. We have strong job placement rates, and I think I'll end because I'm trying to go fast because I'm sharing my time with someone else, but I'll end by saying one of the things that makes me so proud to be part of this college, and this university, is that the colleagues I work with have a passion for their students, not just their content area. And they go above and beyond to help students. They offer help sessions, for example, to pass state licensure exams. They bring groups of students to national and state conferences with them. They offer opportunities for students to publish papers with them. We have so many faculty who help with directing and advising clubs. For example, I do one called Educators Rising. So we definitely have, just as our professions are helping professions, we have a lot of faculty who want to help so that we can continue to serve the community. So hopefully I did 2.5 minutes. Hopefully I wasn't too long. So.
Hi, my name is Ken Schmidt. Sorry I don't have a video because I'm talking from my desktop at home. I just wanted to point out a few things really quick. I'm a faculty in the School of Nursing. I am talking for Teresa Hagnazarian, one of our longtime advisors in that department. But she wanted me to mention to everyone that we have 3 basic pathways to the BSN degree, the Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. We have the traditional program, which is the vast majority of our students. Most of the students coming from high school or later on in life without previous healthcare experience will go this option typically. We also have, and one option for that is also a direct admission from high school, where you're admitted directly into the School of Nursing from high school versus having to do your prerequisites like your science courses and then applying for admission. We also have what we call an alternate pre-licensure pathway that is available for people who have healthcare experience already. So people like LPN nurses and paramedics and maybe military medics and so forth. That is one option. And our last option is for people that are already nurses but don't have their BSN degree yet. They might just have their associate's degree. And that is the RN to BSN program. It's completely online. And there's no clinicals involved in that program right there. But for more information, please, by all means, visit our website that's in the College of Health Education and Human Services. There's more information specifically under our School of Nursing there. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I'm going to stop sharing this. And then next, we have Dr. English from our College of Science and Math. So I will turn it over to her.
Okay, you're not going to let me share. That's okay.
Oh, no, I can. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see your message.
I emailed her like while this presentation was going on. So
Yeah, you're good. I will get you presentation right now.
Whoops. Now I've lost you. Okay, share. PowerPoint, share. Okay. I just wanted to have this slide up. We've heard a little bit about science and math from the other colleges, such as you have to take the science and math courses, but science and math, most of you, you're interested in a major, you probably don't even fully understand which college your major might be in. So this just gives you a picture of the majors that are in the College of Science and Mathematics. And as its name implies, we are where the mathematics is housed. So we have a new major there that I want to talk about a little bit, which is actuarial science. And it's the science of examining risk. And it used to be mainly in insurance companies, but now it goes all the way up to where you're doing things for financial markets and that kind of thing. So it spans the gamut. So if you're really excited about math, you don't necessarily need to be a mathematician, but you can be using that math for different applied reasons. Another interesting thing about the College of Science and Mathematics is that psychology is housed here. Sometimes that's housed in another college. And that's because we view psychology as a STEM field here, and that most of our psychology is focused either on experimental psychology or human factors and industrial psychology, where you're examining how people interact in companies and in organizations and how they interact with technology. So it's really getting at sort of the mind interface with everything outside of the mind and looking at that in a very scientific way. Another key thing, which is going to be on my next slide, is that the College of Science and Mathematics is where the pre-health advisor is housed. And so if you're interested in anything pre-medical, pre-dental, that kind of thing, our advisor is the person that does that, and I'm going to give you his name at the end. And so, as you saw in the previous, some of the majors in our college are very keyed towards pre-health, such as biomedical, biochemistry and molecular biology, and neuroscience. And I'm a neuroscience faculty member, so one of the key things in our college is that all the majors, and I'm going to go back to that, we have a first year experience or seminar where you would get to meet a faculty member like myself in a class of around 12 to 14, as Paige pointed out, and you really get to know the other people in your major as well as the faculty member. And so I have that class once a week, and we're learning how to read research articles in the neurosciences, but we're doing it step by step so everybody can keep up. And there's a similar type of class in physics, there's a similar type of class in biochemistry and molecular biology. So you're not just a number, you're not in a big lecture hall, you're getting to meet you're basically the colleagues that you're going to have for the rest of the time that you're here. The other big thing I want to talk to you about is you've heard a little bit about research from Dr. Wriggling, and that is a huge thing in our college, not because all of you want a career in research, but because getting research experience with a faculty member is the way to get discipline-based, experience that's good for any career. You're going to learn how to problem solve, how to analyze data, how to interact with people, how to give talks, how to write. And so we have different programs where we can take you even from your second semester in your freshman year or your first semester in your sophomore year. And through being part of this program, which is applying scientific knowledge, or ASK, you can be basically guided in how to enter into a faculty member's research project or laboratory. And so we're always focused on, you can learn everything you want to learn in theory in a class, but it's when you go to apply it in the laboratory and in interacting with other groups of people that you really understand your field. And we do the same thing in class. Again, Dr. Rigling mentioned active learning. This is just a key thing in this college, that you are not sitting passively getting information from the sage on the stage, but you're doing the activity within the class that really cements what you're learning. So these are the people in our college that will help you. We have basically the pre-health coordinator, Rob Cowles, Nick Christian, he's head of all the academic services. And we have a career consultant that's embedded in our college, as other colleges at Wright State have that. So when you enter Wright State, you have partners with you along the way to get the experience you need in your career. And I can tell you, in my undergraduate career, I did undergraduate research and it changed my life. I had been working in the library and then I was getting to do experiments. So it can be the most exciting thing possible. And I welcome you to do that experience wherever you go. Thanks, Paige.
Thank you. And then last but not least, we do have our Raj Swain College of Business and Dr. Swanee, and I'm going to make him the presenter so he can share with you a few things as well. And you should be good to go now.
Everybody, my name is Kunal Swanee, and I'm going to talk about the business school. So first thing, as you can see from the slide, I do want to brag about, like the other colleges did, that we of course believe in academic excellence, and here are some of our accolades we have. We are the top 5% of business schools in worldwide. We are one in the 219 colleges that have accountancy accreditation. We are the AACSB accredited, which is the highest level of accreditation you can achieve in a business school. And we are in the first in Ohio to have both ABED and accreditation in MIS program. And of course, we have been consistently listed in Princeton Review and US News in terms of ranking for the business school. So what are some of the majors and what can business school do for you? Some of the undergraduate majors we have: accounting, business economics, entrepreneurship, which is new and pretty popular. We have finance, financial services, marketing, MIS, marketing information systems, management. There are a lot of ways in programs or majors you can pick. Now, the 3 important majors I want to talk about, something we changed, is adding a business analytics concentration. This is one of the very high job seeking credential or skill sets that is in huge demand. So finance, marketing, and MIS has this marketing analytics concentration available. And of course, we do have minor certifications. A lot of students, not only the business major, would like to do dual or major and minor in something based on what their, of course, their needs are, or what they would like to do. But we have a lot of students from other colleges like engineering, liberal arts, who would typically come and take some minor courses in marketing or entrepreneurship because they would like to open their own practice or do some business, right? So we have a lot of minors available. And of course, we have some certificates programs such as business analytics, economic issues, and human resource management. And the fact is, everybody needs a little bit of business knowledge, right? Wherever they work, what to do, and we are here as faculty members to help and support that. And of course, our faculty are worldwide published in various topics. We are very much active in research, and we do like to do research and of course spread that knowledge. And we also use a lot of experiential knowledge. And for example, I speak for marketing department and myself. We typically incorporate real business questions, or clients who come to us with some business problem. How can we increase our brand awareness? How do we get student recruitment? Or how can we resolve this issue? So we incorporate these real life projects in our classrooms to help students get a hands-on experience, so to speak. Now, with real world experience, we also have Soin Trading Center where students can, of course, get the hands-on experience with trading, and where they manage over 2 million real money portfolio. We have Reynolds and Reynolds Cafe, which is operated by students. This is very important. Here, students get experience to manage a business. And this is non-profit. All the business or the profit that we generate from here goes back to student funds. We also have this Dave Analytics Visualization Environment, which is the newest addition, in which, of course, we have state-of-the-art technologies and software to analyze big data. And of course, each year, these are just some key things that we do each year. We have Wright Venture, which is similar to a Shark Tank, where students compete among each other for their business ideas and win big awards up to $5,000. We have a Professional Business Institute run each summer, in which high school students come as a camp. They are given a real life company, such as Scene 75, for example, was the host for a few years. They have particular issues and questions. We train these students, and students come up with a solution for Scene 75. We have Lift Symposium for Finance, and we have Wright Brothers Day, which is actually created by, or not created, or actually created by the marketing department, or approved by the marketing department as to recognition for Wright Brothers Days, and our American Marketing Association student group hosts this event. So we have a lot of activities going on. We have student support services, professional academic advisors, we have tutors, we have peer mentor programs, and of course, faculties are available. We are big enough, like earlier said, but small enough to make sure we know students' name, and we are there available for the students, whether it's online, flexible delivery, or face-to-face in that way. And of course, we do a lot of extracurricular activities. We have Dean's Advisory Board, we have student clubs, we have study abroad, we have departmental honors and awards, scholarships available. We have won national student competition. The American Marketing Association has consistently won the top 3 awards consistently, and we have academic honor societies. And finally, I do want to point that we are the only school which has a proper career facility host. We have people there in our building to help you with your career management, to help you with your CV, to guide you where internships are, where job placements are. And we have a very good, strong presence of business community. For example, in Dayton Journal 40 Under 40, each year we have a good representation of Wright State alumni, faculty represented there. And most of the businesses known here will have some Wright State alumni. So I won't give you the whole laundry list, but you can see we have a good representation. With this, I would like to close. And of course, I'll be happy to address any questions you might have later. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you all. And so we did have a few questions, so I will go ahead, but then of course, if anyone has any more questions, please feel free to put that in the chat. But Dr. Kramer brought up a good point about how we are test optional for admissions and for our scholarships. So some of the programs do have additional requirements that you may need. So like with some of our performing arts, there's auditions, you know, for some of our teaching programs, there might be some additional tests that they have to take, same with nursing. So if, and I will give this time for any of our representatives if they want to kind of highlight what additional things their college may need. Okay. I do know that we have some of the representatives that were highlighted in all of the presentations and were talked about. We do have their contact information. So if you've put something in the chat, I've recorded that down, and you will get an email from me with the contact information for your particular program or college so that we can follow up. But I definitely want to encourage everyone to come to, if you are comfortable, to come to our in-person open house to meet all of these folks in person. And so we will have a Q&A too, so continue to ask your questions. We did have a couple of folks really eager to talk to some of our students. So right now I'm going to change our panelist over from the faculty and staff over to our current students, and then we have some questions that we can do during the Q&A. And so I'm going to go ahead and put myself on mute and start that process. But at any time, if you have any questions, you can feel free to put that in the chat. And then if the students join, as they join, if you guys want to turn on your cameras and get ready, and we'll definitely transition everyone. All right, got some folks here. And as we are switching it around, we'll actually go ahead with the folks that we already have. If you could just introduce yourself, tell everyone how you're involved on campus, and your major, where you're from, and so that we can all get to know you. And then as we have questions, I will bring them up to the group to give everyone the opportunity. We have a few more students coming on, but we'll go ahead, and if we want to start with Jonathan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan Stiro. I am the student body president for this next year. So if that didn't give away what organization I'm coming from, I am definitely been an integral part of SGA over the past few years. Been involved with that for a while, but on top of that, I've also been a orientation peer mentor for the past 3 summers as well. And that was actually what first got me involved at Wright State. I've also served some time as a learning assistant for Physics 2, as well as I've been a part of the DSAB for the College of Engineering and Computer Science, and a few different spots around campus on top of that. But so I am a senior mechanical engineering student, and I think you also asked where I was from. So I'm actually a Air Force kid. So I actually went to high school all the way out in Ramstein, Germany. So shout out to all my international or out of state people. Absolutely love you guys. So, but yeah, it's a little bit about me.
And okay, Sydney will always go. Go ahead.
I was trying to get it over with. Hello, everyone. My name is Sydney Wyatt. I'm a 4th-year financial services major from Cincinnati, Ohio. I work in admissions as an admissions ambassador. It is my 2nd year. I am also president of Wright State Greek Life. I am the first Black woman elected as Greek Life president. I'm also president of my chapter, the Mighty Zazai chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. I was in Black Student Union for a couple of years of my collegiate career. I'm also part of Association of Black Business Students, did orientation, admissions, retention. I've been everywhere and then some. So queen of getting involved.
Hannah, if you want to go next.
Sure. So I'm Hannah. I'm a senior in the nursing program this year. I am involved in residence life and housing. I'm a resident assistant or RA here on campus. This is my 3rd year being an RA. I'm from a real small town in Northwest Ohio called Defiance. My first 2 years as an RA, I was in the honors community, but this year I am now in Hickory Hall, which is in the Woods community. All of them are a form of dorms or residence halls. And then I also serve as the head RA for the Woods community this year as well.
Chance, you can go ahead and go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chance McNally. I am a senior mechanical engineering major here at Wright State. I'm also involved in residence life and housing. I'm the head resident assistant for Honors Hall. This is my 4th year being an RA here on campus. Most of my time has been dedicated to my degree and the residence life and housing. This is my 2nd year being an RA in honors.
And Jeff?
Guys, how you doing? My name is Jeffrey. I'm a senior. I'm currently studying organizational leadership and psychology here. I'm super excited to graduate. But about my involvement, I oversee our activities board here on campus, so kind of like student council stuff, if you guys are used to that. I'm also a part of a fraternity here, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, which is a part of our National Panhellenic Council, our historically Black fraternities and sororities that we have here on campus. But also I have overseen like nonprofit organizations since I've been here. I've been a peer mentor, a tutor, and I'm currently a teaching assistant in our education and leadership studies department. And I have also worked on the orientation team and admissions team. So welcome, guys. Super excited to see you.
And we already have some great questions in the chat, so I'm very excited. This first question was directed towards Hannah, but I'll let everyone kind of hop in as well. We had a student who is interested in pursuing the nursing program. So if you could let them know what the hardest or most challenging aspect of that is, and something that you would have wish you would have prepared for, and then I'll let everyone else kind of, especially since we have a wide range of majors here, maybe pop in with any advice they have for their particular program as well.
Yeah, so I always get asked the question, like, what was the hardest class you've taken? Because I'm pretty far into the program. So I graduate April 30th, not that I'm counting down or anything. I feel like the biggest thing that like people kind of underestimate. So I was the typical didn't really have to study a whole lot in high school, still got A's, and that was not the case when I got into the nursing program. Even with my prereqs, so far I felt that's very worth it because I have good why. As in nursing, you definitely have to have a good why. If you're just in it for the money, that's not your field. It's not the money that you think it is in healthcare. But I feel like, the biggest thing is you have to be willing to put the work into it. And I feel like that's not only specific to the nursing program. But, a lot of people think, oh, I've been an aide, I know things about nursing. Or, I took anatomy in high school, it won't be that hard. You think that, but in my experience, I don't think that's the total truth. You still definitely need to put the work into it. But luckily, I've had some really good faculty that are really open to, sending them an email, asking them questions after class, going to their office hours, things like that. And definitely your faculty and your professors are an excellent resource, and not just in the nursing program, but even, when you're taking gen eds.
And again, if anybody else has advice for those high school students who are nervous about being able to be successful, share that out.
I'll chime in here. My definitely big piece of advice is first things obviously just go to class. You'll be surprised at how much you can sit there and retain by simply showing up to class and just being present and try to be engaging. But to echo a little bit of what Hannah said, definitely talk to your professors. They're there for you. They have office hours for you. So definitely and you don't have to go to office hours just because you have a question. Go to office hours, establish connections. That's the beautiful part about Wright State, is that all of our faculty members here are fantastic people. They want to get to know you. They want to, in as much as you might want to get to know them, they want to get to know you even more. So you can establish those connections. You never know how far doing research with a faculty member might go, especially with faculty members that might be in your field specifically. So definitely encourage students to go to office hours, go to class. Those are probably the two biggest things for me.
Not to pick on Hannah, but another question for Hannah and Chance. Since you guys both live on campus and are RAs, do you think it makes a difference if a student lives on campus or doesn't live on campus?
I do think it makes a difference, especially for first year students. I think living on campus gives you an opportunity and like an atmosphere that you wouldn't get to experience if you lived off campus. Personally, I've been an RA and I've lived in every community on campus apartments and dorm rooms. But something that I've noticed quite a bit with first year students is that first year living on campus allows them to network and meet people that are in their major. It allows them to be more active in programs and other things involved in on campus, even like campus orgs and stuff. And I just think being on campus for your first year helps you kind of understand more about yourself and what you're going into. But it really depends a lot on the individual and what they're looking to get out of their experience.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with Chance. Like living on campus, especially your first year, definitely makes a big difference. I met some folks living in campus housing my first year that I'm still friends with, going into my senior year. I see you, Sydney. And Sydney's one of them. We were living in the same hall and like we still talk on a fairly regular basis. And like one of my suite mates I plan to have in my wedding. So I mean, like you never know who you're going to meet. And then also, I definitely recommend being an RA too, because you get free housing out of the deal. And it definitely gives you a lot of good skills that you can put on a resume and stuff like that. And you just get to really meet a lot of people and, connect with people. And also there's actually been studies to show that like folks who live on campus do better than folks who don't, because it helps them focus on their academics, which is, what you're here to do. So, and, we plan all kinds of fun programs and events and stuff too, to try and get you out of your dorm or apartment if that's where you choose to live.
Awesome. Thanks for that. The question that always pops up is, okay, you're a freshman and you want to get involved, but you don't know where to start. If someone specifically, I was thinking Jeff, since he ran the show this week, want to talk a little bit about Fall Fest, but then also what strategies you would say to help get involved on campus. I was going to say, if anyone wants to start, it looks like Jeff might have.
I can definitely start. I can definitely say those first couple weeks, Wright State and other student organizations do a phenomenal job of showing the clubs, organizations, and the resources that are around. You just have to take that initiative to get involved. And when I mean get involved, you don't have to necessarily join an organization, join an executive board, and hold a position. I would just start off going to events, going to organizations where people are like-minded or like-minded as you, going to do community service or going to social events, going to movie nights. That's how you're gonna get involved, figure out what org you want to stick with for the next 4 years, and eventually take those leadership positions. So I feel like we do a great job of putting them in your face. You just gotta reach your hand out and grab it.
If I can chime in on this as well, for first year students, there's 2 events that we have right at the start of the fall semester. That's perfect to attend. The first one is called Do the U. It happens the weekend before literally the Friday before school starts. It is during first weekend there, and then on top of that, we also have Fall Fest. And I mean, shout out to UAB because Fall Fest was absolutely phenomenal this year. And that's Jeff's org. So they did a fantastic job with Fall Fest this year. We had so many organizations out tabling at the event. We had a lot of corporations around as well, handing out a bunch of free stuff. But if you're curious about the best way to get involved, definitely echoing what Sydney said. I mean, just find out different activities, events, anything that piques your interest, and just start attending them, because The best part is when you go and attend those things, the people that are also there with you, you already have something in common with them. So it's an easy icebreaker, easy way to meet people, get to know people, establish those friendships, because the friends you'll make are definitely going to be what helps want you to, stay in an org or maybe join an org together with someone else. So definitely encourage all new students, just attend events that you see are happening that piques your interest.
I was going to kind of go on a tangent. Like, I know there's a number of folks, like I knew in high school that I was interested in being an RA, in college, specifically because of free housing, but there's definitely a lot of perks that I've kind of ran into since I've been doing this job for over 2 years now. But if you are specifically like wanting to be an RA and like be more involved in like residential life type things, we have multiple like on campus residential organizations that are kind of like a nice bridge into being an RA. So like we have Residential Community Association, there's community councils for our residence halls and our on-campus apartments that you can kind of get involved to. And like a lot of RAs actually start out involved in another residential organization, and then that kind of helps them bridge into being an RA. So we have Residential Community Association, RCA, National Residence Hall Honorary, which is NRHH, African American Residential Caucus, which is AARC, and then, just the good old fashioned community councils. If you were involved in a community council on campus or in high school, it's kind of similar to that, but a little bit of a bigger crowd, if you went, especially if you went to like a smaller school, and the activities are just a little different.
All right. So we probably have time for one more question. But the question that I always like to ask all of our students is basically like, what do you think makes Wright State unique? Why did you choose Wright State? And why do you continue to choose Wright State? So we kind of can just go round robin and let everyone kind of share their story.
Well, I can definitely go because, read her up. But I chose Wright State because I was valedictorian of my high school class. So I got a full tuition scholarship for being here, free school. Just grab her. But once I got here, I met my community, the minority community here on campus does seem small, but once I found my clique and I found mentors and I found people that I can like come to, like a support system and love and a family, that's what Wright State is. And once I got involved, I found even more people. I made a bigger network. I created a support system for other people. It's just a huge family here. And like even your professors are people too, and they are so understanding and well connected in whatever you want to do in your life. So I just feel like once I came to Wright State, I created a family beyond my family, and it's a never-ending network. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm staying, and that's why my bachelor's degree will stay Wright State University.
If I can chime in next, the reason why I definitely chose Wright State, there's a wide variety of reasons, but definitely my go-to one is the fact that it felt like home to me. We sit in such a nice little pocket of Ohio. We are close enough to downtown Dayton that it only takes 10-15 minutes to drive to downtown Dayton. We have our baseball team down there, Dayton Dragons. I mean, you have theater down there. On top of it, we are only an hour away from Cincinnati. We're also only an hour away from Columbus. So you have the ability to go and see, your downtown cities and get your downtown feel. But on top of that, where we're located in the Dayton area, we're also 10-15 minutes from a cornfield. So you don't get a huge, I'm in the middle of the city surrounded by skyscrapers or anything like that. But you also don't have that feel of, you're out in the middle of nowhere and, there's nothing around, because we literally do have a mall, 2 minutes down the road, just across on the other side of 675. So the kind of quote that something a friend of mine usually says in this situation, Wright State's university is big enough to make a difference, but it's also small enough to make a difference. So we are just a nice, perfect size, in my opinion, where you have the ability, you have so many opportunities to get involved and really help make a change around campus, whether that's through being an RA, being in charge of a few different organizations around campus, or participating in events and whatnot. But at the same time, we're big enough that change matters. So it just fits really nicely, and that's definitely why I chose Wright State.
So I would say I chose Wright State. I don't know, like when I toured, it just kind of felt like home, like it just kind of clicked, like I can see myself spending the next 4 years of my life here. And because, when you choose a college, especially when it's not around where you're from, it's not just, oh, this is where I'm going to get a degree from. This is where I'm going to go to school. This area, this community is where I'm going to spend the next 4 years of my life. And when I toured Wright State, I just really felt, very, very safe. And also our nursing program is ranked top 3 in the state, the entire state of Ohio. So, I felt really good knowing that I was making a good investment in my education and that I was going to a nursing program that was going to adequately prepare me for my career and also to take the NCLEX. So, yeah, and also the financial aid helped a lot too.
Yeah, I have to go off what Hannah said. That Wright State just felt like home. When I was doing tours, I toured several different universities throughout the state of Ohio and the state of Kentucky, and Wright State ended up being the one that felt the most at home for me. I grew up an hour and a half away, roughly, from Wright State, in essentially the middle of nowhere in Southern Ohio. But Wright State just had that great environment, campus community. It's a very clean campus, very nice area. So overall, Wright State just felt really great. And also the financial aid was a huge help as well in my decision.
Awesome, thank you. So I'm actually gonna bring back our faculty, but have all of our students stay. And we're going to do a few minutes of Q&A. We definitely have some great questions in the chat and in the Q&A. So there will be a lot of panelists on here, but feel free to share your experience when possible. And I'm going to continue to bring everyone back here. But as I bring everyone back, one question that we've gotten several times is if someone is interested in taking maybe 2 majors, or they're trying to decide between 2 majors, what advice would you give to those folks as they're making that decision? And this question is open to anyone. Great for colleges to be like, hey, try out liberal arts because we have lots of different things. I'm looking at Carol there. Yeah, feel free to, anyone, go ahead.
Well, we do have lots of different things all over the university, and there are 2 kinds of ways to do 2 majors. There's you can do 2 majors within 1 degree program. For example, 2 majors within the College of Liberal Arts, where the only real difference would be the additional 30 or so credits for the 2nd major. That's frequently done. For example, French and English would be an example of that. There's also a way to do a double major, which would be across 2 colleges, and that is a little more complicated and needs a lot of advising because you will need to fulfill all the requirements that exist in each college. And for example, an English major who also wants to get a BS in computer science is going to have to take a lot more math than they would as a liberal arts major. So it's worth talking to faculty, of course, in the areas of interest, but also essential that you talk to an advisor right away so that you don't unnecessarily duplicate things.
All right. So we had a question, and I'll turn it over to the colleges for this one too. If you have any programs that you need to have, we got another question about test scores. So if there is any program that you have that is going to require some sort of testing, if you want to share that, whether that be like our placement test or any standardized tests or anything like that. I do know that Dr. Kramer did have to hop off, but for education students, they will, there is several different requirements for direct admission. And so if you have questions about what those requirements are, so because we are not requiring the standardized tests, you won't need those for admission, but there are some other qualifying tests that you may have to take. Same with some of the nursing programs, you know, for direct admission, there's several different other qualifying tests that you may have to take in order to get into those programs. And then I will allow everyone to kind of give their last statement. If some of the faculty want to talk about what their favorite part of Wright State is since we finished. We have Teresa and Rainey back on too, so if they want to chime in anytime, and I will continue to look to see if there's any more questions.
Well, Paige, maybe I'll go first with final. So I don't have anything final to say about my college, but maybe I'll just give a final piece of advice for the students looking to go to college next year. And I think my advice right now would be, don't stress out too much about what you want to do with the rest of your life, or specifically what you want your major to be. I think you've got plenty of time to figure that out. But you should find a college that has opportunities that you're interested in and that you feel comfortable with, and is at a price that works for you and your family. And then you should go there and be open to trying things. You'll need to pick a major and start on it and really commit to trying it. But don't stress out too much about the possibility that maybe you're choosing the wrong thing for you the first time out. I actually changed my major twice in college, and it's really no big deal. I tell students all the time when they orient for engineering that these are students that have already been admitted and they're going to do engineering, and I tell them, don't stress about this too much. The first year or two, there's a lot of shared classes. There's plenty of time to change your mind. When I get asked about double majors, I say, you know, don't worry about that right now. Just focus on your first major to begin with. And if you're interested in another area, don't labor over whether you should do a double major, but just go take classes in that other area. If another topic interests you, go learn about it. And then at some point, maybe it becomes apparent that, you know, I'm liking this so much, I do want to go get a second major, or maybe I even want to switch. So that's my advice for the students out there. I hope to see you next fall. Have a good night.
I'm going to second Dr. Rigling's advice there. Don't worry about what major you think is going to be the one that's going to get you a career right off the bat. I mean, your career is important, obviously. But I think what the last 2 years have taught us is that we don't know how the world's going to change around us, and we don't know what sorts of skills are going to come to the fore and be the most desirable skills. A college degree in any field is your ticket to an excellent career and a rewarding future. You should study what you love, do what you're good at, explore new things, and just make college the best time of your life. And good night.
Yeah, if you don't explore now, when are you going to be able to do it? And one thing is, once you're within a certain college, most of your introductory courses are going to be the same for all of the majors. At least that's true in the College of Science and Math. So you can really sort of put your sights on a lot of different things, and you will have the background for any of them. So it's what's my favorite thing about Wright State is this familial environment that we are all collaborative and interactive, and that the students are some of the hardest working people I've ever seen. And that doesn't always reflect in the exact GPA they get, because they're doing hard work on a lot of different things, including taking care of their families and working at jobs. And this again is why I keep harping on, if you're going to have to do a job, it might as well be in your discipline. So that's my last word.
Well, I'm going to chime in once more for the financial aid. And on this, I just want to make sure that people are actually filing their FAFSA in October. Make sure that they do the online scholarship application in November, and then start watching your eligibility requirements for financial aid in December. Don't forget to apply in November so you can meet all of those requirements to get the most aid possible. So, I am a Wright State graduate as a grad student, and I just want everybody to know that it's a great school. I had such wonderful faculty when I was taking classes. So please make sure to always include the faculty in what you do, because they are a very helpful and resourceful amount of people. If you have any other financial aid questions, let me know, and we'll be happy to help you out here at Raider Connect. Thanks.
All right, we didn't get any other questions, but I have tons of names here. And so I am going to make sure that all of these students who asked to be connected with certain people get connected after this. And so at this time, we'll end the formal programming. We want to end it with one last Raider Up from everyone, and just thank everyone for coming tonight. And I'm going to turn it over. We'll wait a few more minutes for everyone to stay on who would like the optional virtual campus tour. We have one of our tour guides, Christopher Hardis, on, and he's going to show you around campus and kind of give you the student experience. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Paige.
I want to watch the tour too. It's almost
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. All right. Whenever you're ready, Christopher, you go ahead. Share your screen. And I will continue to answer questions as you have them.
Unfortunately, I can't. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no, I just gave you the privilege.
Sorry about that. All right, so go on here. Sorry, guys. All right. To get this tour started, I'll start off by introducing myself. My name is Toph. I'm a senior here at Wright State studying communication studies, and I am originally from Hickory, Ohio, or Hickory, North Carolina, not Hickory, Ohio. Our first stop would actually be the student union inside here. Let me get cycle through the pictures here. I can click on the pictures. There we go. Oh, all right. So let me try this out. All right. So as you can see, we do have a pool inside of the student union. This is one of our club / intramural sports that we decide to play every so often, which would be canoe battleship. It's a whole lot of fun. Highly recommend. As you can see, there's people in each canoe, and they have buckets of water, and they try to throw buckets of water in the opposing canoes to try to sink them. It's definitely a whole lot of fun. Like I said, highly recommended. We also have other club and intramural sports. I personally played intramural basketball. Definitely a whole lot of fun. It is tournament styled, so you play each team and then you go through into a bracket, and there's a winner's bracket and loser's bracket. I know they offered intramural dodgeball a few semesters ago. They offer intramural basketball, dodgeball. I know they do sand volleyball and mud volleyball sometimes, which is a whole lot of fun. I don't know why it's not running. You guys see the entire screen here. But as you can see, there's a 2-story rock climbing wall also in the student union. This is in the lower slash upper atrium. And there is times where you can go in there and just rock climb if you're into that. And over here in the corner of the lower atrium, there's our ping pong and pool table room. It's definitely a popular hangout. I know my buddy actually just left my apartment now, and he said he was going to play ping pong and pool. And so it's, like I said, definitely a common hangout area here. This is one of the classes that the student organization slash like gym offers. I know you get a free gym membership as a Wright State student, which is really nice. I personally enjoy working out there. They also offer these classes, which is this is obviously a cycling class. They offer Zumba, they offer yoga, they offer Pilates, which is really fun. So if you're big into fitness, I highly recommend taking one of those classes. Some of them are 1 credit hour, some of them are just extracurricular classes. This is actually the Union Market in this picture here. The Union Market actually has a few new additions to it. I know they have a Tim Hortons there. They have Burger 937. They used to have Zator, but now it's called something else, which is Mediterranean food. They have a brick oven pizza place. They have Create, which is create your own salads, wrap sandwiches, subs. And they have a lot of on-the-go options as well. Like I said, this is just one of the locations that you can get food at. I personally prefer the hangar, which we'll get to later on in the tour. And this is the lower atrium. You can see some of the Greek life banners hanging there. So we do offer Greek life here, along with a lot of other organizations and clubs to join from, which is over 150. Those ranging from Greek life to intramurals to student government to university activities boards, which you can plan all the events, such as the one that you see in this picture here on campus. Yeah. We also have a student services, which would probably be our student legal services. For $11 a semester, you can pay for student legal services, which if you ever in the case where you need a lawyer, they'll provide one. I know they always have 2 on hand. And it's also home to our Raider Connect office. I'm sure you guys heard about Raider Connect earlier, that handle financial aid, student booster accounts, registration, and any payment options. And our admissions office are also located in the student union. And so if you ever need any help or have any questions regarding your admissions here into Wright State University, I would highly recommend contacting our office 9 to 5 Monday through Friday via phone. Our bookstore is also located in the union. Let me cycle through here. Our bookstore is directly affiliated with Barnes & Noble. It's definitely a great stop to pick up any Raider gear. I know throughout the semester they have phenomenal discounts and clearances. Being a broke college student, I definitely prefer the discount and clearance items. So I go in there during those times. It's where you can also rent and buy your textbooks. What's really nice is that the bookstore will price match Amazon when it comes to renting or buying textbooks. They won't necessarily price match a third party, but they will price match Amazon themselves. All right, so we'll move on to the Student Success Center. So this is the Student Success Center, which is home to the Student Success Services. With that office, they have the career services. If you're ever looking for a internship while you're in college, or even a job after you graduate, you can go in there and they'll help you with that search, in which they'll probably use the software called Handshake, which is where most of our Wright State students find their jobs, internships. It's where I found the admissions job. This is where placement testing. So if you ever need to take the math or reading placement test, you can do that through them. And then the student success services also include the University Writing Center. If you ever need help writing a paper, coming up with a topic, or you just want a second pair of eyes to look over the grammar, spelling, or even the style, You can submit it into them, and then we have the Math Center, which is pretty straightforward. If you need help writing paper, need help with a certain set of math homework or an entire math course, they'll guide you through that. They won't necessarily give you the answers, unfortunately, but they will help you guide through that. Me being someone who struggles in that subject, I definitely went to them when I was taking some of the math courses. And then we also have tutoring services, which is kind of a broad umbrella effect over all of our tutoring services. With that, you get 1 hour per week per class to go towards tutoring, which is really nice. You can also become a tutor. They are one of the highest paid students or student jobs or student employment jobs they have on campus. All right, so we'll go on to the next one, which would be University Hall. So University Hall, which is now the College of Nursing and Health. It is known as the College of Nursing and Health because of what's located in the basement, which is all of our mock hospitals and our simulators, which will simulate anything from childbirth to a common cold, which is really cool. And then it's also home to our president's office, which is on the 2nd floor, her name being Sue Edwards, phenomenal lady. And then we have our Office of Disability Services. Wright State is actually ranked top 3 universities in the nation that house and work with students with visual and non-visual disabilities. And then we have Turning Points. It is supposed to represent all twists and turns that college student experiences throughout their collegiate career. However, Wright State students know it as BART, which you can see here, which stands for the big artsy red thing. Definitely popular, I guess, meeting location on campus, and this sculpture here is definitely a staple to our campus. All right, so we'll move on to Raj Sawin, which is also known as Wright Hall. Oh, didn't mean to play the video there. Wright Hall is the Raj Sawin College of Business. They are known for their Sawin Trading Center. It does use terminals. We actually have 12 of them, that's actually how you directly trade with Wall Street. And that class that's held inside of that lecture hall, which is a big lecture hall as soon as you walk into the Raj Sawin College of Business, they will manage up to $2 million worth of stocks and holdings, which is really cool. And they'll decide as a class whether to drop, sell, buy, or trade. It's also home to Ray Ray Cafe, which is a student-run coffee shop. If you enjoy your coffee being a little more strong, I would recommend going to Ray Ray Cafe, me being the one who likes the stronger coffee. But if you like a more sweeter base, we do have a Starbucks located on campus. And here's the kind of outside of Ray Ray. And I personally enjoy studying there because it kind of gives me nice little cafe vibes. And here's inside of the Sawin Trading Center. So I'll move on to Allen Hall. Allen Hall is the College of Education and Human Services. Like I said, it's College of Education and Human Services. The picture you see here, this is actually this is the hangar, which is a very popular dining location. This is the other dining location. I personally prefer it. It's got the best food in my opinion. Inside there we have free Pizza Hut Express, which is grab and go pizza, breadsticks, wings, cinnamon sticks, which I need to stay away from. Then we have Fresh Melt, which is now Bowl Life. Bowl Life is kind of create your own bowls where they'll have chicken, they'll have rice, they have beans, they have cheese, queso, the whole 9 yards. Then we have the Den, which is affiliated with Denny's. So they do serve breakfast food all day, every day, but they do have a long list of other options as well. And then we have Zanoa, which is kind of create your own bowls, burritos, tacos. However, at 6 o'clock, that turns into Homestyle Kitchen, which is more of that comfort food or dinner food for on-campus students that desire that warm meal at the end of the day. And let's cycle through here. Let's go to Founders Quad. So there is a quad on campus. It is located in between Allen Hall, College of Education and Human Services, Millett Hall, the College of Liberal Arts, that's the building we'll get to next, Ullman Hall, the College of Education, or College of Science and Mathematics, and then Folsa Hall, the College of Science and Mathematics. It's kind of right here on campus. And those 4 buildings were the 4 original buildings, therefore it is called the Founders Quad. And then we'll get to Millett Hall, the College of Liberal Arts. So inside here, it is home to the honors program. It's located on the 2nd floor of Millett Hall. There are a few requirements to get into the honors program. You don't actually have to be an honors student to live in honors hall, so don't get that confused. But you'll receive benefits such as 2-week early registration. Sorry, I don't have updated information here. And it's also home to our Blue and Black Cultural Resource Center, our Women's Center, our Office of LGBTQA+ Affairs, our Office of Latin, Asian, and Native American Affairs. And those are a phenomenal group of people to work with. I actually worked on the Dean Student Advisory Board within this college and had to a lot of times communicate with that department. And they were just phenomenal group of people. You don't actually have to directly affiliate yourself with any of those identities or cultures to have access to those resources. And then we also have at the Air Force RTC and Army RTC. That's kind of located in the connector section here of Millett and Allen. We do have a very prominent Air Force RTC just because we're so closely located to Wright Air Force Base. Moving on, we have the Tom Hanks Center for Motion Pictures, the infamous blue building. So it is named after Tom Hanks, who is affiliated with some of our faculty and some of our students. He is not directly affiliated with Wright State, but yeah, as you can see, he has been a friend of the university for many years, and we decided to name the building after him. There's some pictures. So we'll move on to the Paul Lawrence Dunbar Library. This is our library here on campus. It is divided up in the 4 different floors. On the first floor, as soon as you walk in the front doors, you'll be welcomed with our circulation desk. If you need to check out a book, have any questions about the library, they will direct you. They do have a bookshelf behind them for all the books that have been put on reserve. So if a professor isn't necessarily using a textbook for the entire semester, it's just for a chapter or 2, you can check that out for them. To also help you navigate OhioLink, which you will have access to as a Wright State student, which not only gives you access to the books on Wright State's campus, but as well as other campuses, college campuses, high schools, institutions, and libraries across Ohio. And here on the second floor, as you can see in this small little picture here, that's not necessarily the quiet floor. So you don't necessarily have to be quiet up there. So you can hang out with friends, socialize, get to know each other while also getting some homework done or working on assignments. As you can see, there is a replica of the Wright Flyer in this picture here. There are also 2 cycling desks located in the corners. One's here and then one's like over here in this area. So if you're good at multitasking, unlike me, and like to work out, you can knock out your homework and work out at the same time with the little cycling desks. And then let's see if there's a picture. Unfortunately not a picture, but up on the 3rd floor is kind of the quiet area. So it looks more like a traditional library. There's bookshelves, and it's known as quiet floor. You study in your own little cubicle. And then on the 4th floor, which once again, there's no picture, that's where the Wright Brothers archives and the large collection of Wright Brothers memorabilia is located. So it's like a miniature library up there. It's really cool. Highly recommend checking that out. And as I mentioned, oh, sorry, I went past it. There is a Starbucks on campus. It is a full functioning Starbucks. They will accept your meal plan. Me being a big coffee fan, unfortunately, Starbucks takes a lot of my money every year. But if you enjoy Starbucks, it is conveniently located in the library. And also in the basement of the library is our CATS department. If you ever need help when it comes to IT, computers, your personal computer or anything like that, you can take it to them and they will help you out with that. They also have a program called Laptops to Go. If you ever need to reserve a laptop or rent a laptop semesterly or yearly, they will help you out with that and provide a laptop to you. And then here we have the CAC, or the Creative Arts Center. This is home to all of our art history majors, performing arts majors, theater, dance, and motion pictures, and School of Music, as you can see. Oh, okay, loading here. Okay. They do host the art gala every year, and they do put on phenomenal performance. Personally, myself, I've went to Peter and the Starcatcher, and I've been to the Addams Family, which was a very phenomenal performance. Highly recommend it. Do we have any art majors here? I don't think I can see the chat. So. As I mentioned earlier, we have Fawcett Hall, which is part of the College of Science and Mathematics. That's where our physics and Department of Psychology is located, along with chemistry, biology. So you may have some of your laboratories located in there. It is more prominent towards laboratories, but Ullman Hall, which is the sister building, is more lecture-based. It is also part of the College of Science and Mathematics, and it's home to our chemistry. It's also connected to the Brim Laboratory. And then we have Medical Science Building, which is known as the MedSci. You know, everybody enjoys shortening the names of things down. But this is, as you can see, a newly renovated building, and it's part of the Boonshoff School of Medicine. And then we have Biological Science 1 and Biological Science 2, Biosci 1 and Biosci 2. Here, you know, there's laboratories, and it's part of the Biological Science, Neuroscience, Cell Biology, and Psychology programs. As you once we move on to the next building, you'll see that Health Science is the Professional School of Psychology, and the Pharmacology and Toxicology. These two buildings here are connected by, oh, sorry, let me go forward to back to the biosci. These two buildings here are connected by Airway Bridge, which is this underpass here. It's not necessarily connected inside, so you can't get to one to the other. Inside, it's got to be through this little airway bridge. And it is actually in shape of a water molecule, as you can see, which is really cool. And then we have Diggs Laboratory, which is, personally, I think is one of the coolest buildings on campus, because it is one of the most energy efficient laboratories in Ohio. And currently there's cancer and COVID research being conducted inside. And the sculpture out here in front is the double helix, which is donated by an alumnus. Don't recommend climbing on that late at night. I'm not speaking from personal experience. All right. And then we have Whitehall, the Boonshoff School of Medicine. This is where all of our graduate students and doctorate students decide to attend their classes. This is one of the buildings that is not connected to the tunnels, which we do have a tunnel system here on our campus. It connects 20 out of the 22 buildings. The reason why the tunnels don't connect to this part of this building is because one reason is because we have our cadaver labs located in the basement. And then we have our Neuroscience Engineering Collaborative Center. This building here, very beautiful building from the outside. So that's where all of our neuroscience majors, which we have Russ Engineering. Russ Engineering is always obviously home to all of our engineering students and computer science students. Inside there we have the design labs, the undergraduate project labs. It is home to, this is one of the only buildings that is open 24/7, and therefore they do have computer lounges that are open 24/7, and also the Fishbowl Lounge, which is located in there, which is a nice little study area. There is a joke that comes along with this building, and it says that once you decide to major in engineering, you won't see that student for the next 4 years, just because they stay pretty secluded in this building, because they pretty much have everything they need inside this building. I know there's also a little coffee shop inside there, which is really cool. And then we have Joshi Research Center, which is connected to the Russ Engineering and also connected to the student union. and it on the second floor. What's really cool is they actually have a VR system. It's very high class. I personally want to go in there and mess with the VR headset because I see all kinds of videos about it, and it's really cool. But yeah, and any questions about campus?
Thanks, Toph. I didn't see that we had any questions. So that does wrap up our virtual Raider Open House. Thank you for everyone who decided to stay on. Again, we will be sending out emails to everyone who had additional questions. We'll stay on for a few more minutes, but feel free to log off and have a great evening and go Raiders.